He was the minister alleged to have received the proposal to purchase Pointe Seraphine. Investment Minister Rufus Bousquet readily admits this, although he won't say whom the proposal was from. The SLP political leader alleges that it was made by a Jewish investor who was under investigation in Aruba for allegedly trying to bribe the government there. Bousquet says he refrained from public discussion on the proposal because the idea that the government would sell Pointe Seraphine is a non-issue.
I haven't said anything about this. And you know why? Because there's nothing to say. You know, this is an absurd creation by the former Prime Minister. There's really absolutely nothing to this. A proposal was received on my desk. I looked at it and I said immediately that this is not on. End of story. Never went any further than that.
Bousquet says to suggest that the government had sold Pointe Seraphine as Dr. Kenny Anthony did a few weeks ago is absurd. He says although all proposals are welcomed by the government, this one never made it to cabinet because it was not feasible.
To have heard that Pointe Seraphine is to be sold is absolutely incorrect. There is no validity to that. And so I haven't even felt it necessary to respond to this because it's so absurd. So, I mean, I understand the politics. I understand the politics. You know, the more stuff you can churn up and throw people off and have them focused on the negative, of course, the more the benefit it is to those who would wish to get into power. But the reality is not that. And there is absolutely nothing to this whatsoever.
Speaking at a political meeting on the Castries Market steps, Dr. Anthony categorically stated his party's objections to any attempts to sell Pointe Seraphine. He argued the property must remain in the hands of the people of St. Lucia.
It is a strategic asset of the people of St. Lucia, and it must stay in their hands.
Bousquet says although selling Pointe Seraphine is not an option, the government is open to all proposals pertaining to the development. He says one of the reasons why this particular one was rejected is because it was too complicated. Also, he indicated the government is still open to negotiating with the investor.
There are persons who wanted to come in and redevelop Pointe Seraphine. In other words, break down the current structures, put up more modern building, put in housing, condominiums for sale, and really just modernize the entire facility. But now, it sounds good on the surface, but the structure that was involved was not satisfactory to us. In fact, they have come back to us and said, look, if you're not satisfied with the structure, then tell us what sort of structure you would like to propose, and let's see if we can do something. So, but to suggest that we were looking to sell Pointe Seraphine, come on, that's absurd.
Pointe Seraphine is a duty-free shopping complex that is managed by the National Development Corporation. The NDC is also under the purview of the Investment Minister. Carmi Joseph, HTS News, Channel 4.